to the Automation Nation podcast, the show for business leaders, tech aficionados, and those who are just simply curious about where technology and business are going. Automation Nation is your gateway to understanding automation, AI, and the future of business. Don't get left behind. Tune in now and subscribe for more. Rob House, Wilton Rogers, we're here live. It's the Automation Nation podcast. And we are here with the guy who went from raising chickens to raising robots. His first occupation taught him a lot about his situation today. And we're going to find out what Wilton Rogers has learned about business and life and how he's taken all his skills and ideas to help other businesses get things done faster and better. Wilton Rogers, the CEO of Simply Automate. Welcome to the Automation Nation podcast.
Hey, Rob. Thank you for having me, man. Congratulations on the new podcast, man. It's exciting to be your first guest, obviously, and to be part of this whole journey. So, yeah, man. Thank you.
Well, thank you, man, and thank you for being the first guinea pig for me. Actually trying to run all of these things and actually remember and be flowing at the same time. I think I pulled it off, man. This is a good day. It's a good day.
I think you are.
So, listen, before we even kick it off, one of the things we like to do, I say we like to do like we did it before, but we're doing it like we did it before. So this podcast is powered by Simply Automate. So I figured something nice and cool to have every guest answer is, if you could simply automate one thing in your personal life, what would it be?
Oh, that's a great question, man. If it's one thing in my personal life, gosh, I'll probably say, automate cleaning after me and my kids. That way we can spend more family time together. Because it feels like we mess up so fast. It takes us longer to clean it up than it does to mess it up, right? So if we have somebody clean it up, we can always just be playing around. So that'll probably be my best.
I think that's going to be Automation Nation Family Feud #1 answer. Is what I think. Yeah, everybody wants to get that cleaned up a little faster, man.
Yes.
All right, so listen, let's jump right into who Wilton Rogers is. Who are you and how did you get in this position? Like, how, for everyone has a backstory. Everyone has who they are, what kind of created them. Now, a lot of times that could take hours. So when you kind of try to encapsulate that in maybe a minute, who are you, man? And like, what brought you to this place called automation and AI?
Yeah, well, first of all, like you mentioned at the beginning, I was on a farm raising chickens, right? At such a young age, I felt that entrepreneur spirit, and I think I found it because, when I sold these eggs, man, I used to sell them for like 50 cents a dozen back in the day, right after church, right? But to see the smile on people's faces, that service was just like, whoa, you're making a difference. So I always had that love for, trying to learn something. When I knew something, I was good at something, I could do something, and if I could help somebody else, and it could change their lives. It just warmed my heart. So, I just fell in love with being an entrepreneur because I know as an entrepreneur, you can create that path and just service people. And they'll always remember you because of that service, whatever industry you're in. So, yeah, so that's in a 60-second spot, it's more about, me just being able to service people. And I found that not sitting behind a desk, not being not necessarily working for a corporation, it's about being an entrepreneur and being creative.
Being an entrepreneur, being creative, creativity is literally, that's what critical thinking is. People don't understand. Actually, one of those folks said that imagination is more powerful than intelligence. I think it was Albert Einstein. But the point is that creativity will take you places. It really can. And if you could find a way to use that creativity and bring value to other people, now you're really doing it. I forgot we're live here. We're live all across the world right now, folks. YouTube, LinkedIn. What is going on? Ian Barker's in the house. It's live. You're right. It is alive and well. And
live.
Listen, Anytime throughout this entire broadcast you have a question, put it in the chat and we will answer that question, because there is no dumb question. The dumbest question is the one that's not asked. And trust me, this podcast is going to have lots of opportunities for you to learn a lot of different things, to do a lot of things well. Speaking of doing things well, Wilton, one of the things that you help businesses do is become more efficient and do things well. There's a lot of data out there that says if you can automate your processes, you can be more efficient. Why? Like, why? For someone who, that sounds cool, but why is that actually happening?
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't think I help people do things well. I just surround myself with people that know how to do things well, right? So, honestly, it was more about, again, being an entrepreneur and seeing the so many hats you had to wear, especially as a small, medium-sized business. You don't have that privilege to be able to hire a lot of people. You had to do the groundwork yourself and sort of, and create that opportunities for others.
Mm-hmm.
But when I sort of fell in the automation space, the beginning was the RPA space. I saw that opportunity and I was like, whoa, this can really, really help us. And I was thinking of small businesses because I was thinking about myself. And if I had this back when I owned my fitness studio or I owned my marketing or my mortgage company, my cellular company, I could have done something totally different, right? So I was already thinking like that. So my whole thing was try to surround yourself with people that knew how to do it. And you did the research and you did all the, the homework and put the puzzles together, right? So just figure out where all the pieces are and put it together and make a big picture. So, that's what I fell in love with automation, because I definitely seen that where it was going. Right. And I see where it was, first of all, but I see the opportunity where it can go, especially moving downstream to small businesses. I want to be a big part of that. So, I started 5-6 years ago just doing my own homework. And, my background is in communications, and I graduated in communications degree and worked at a TV station. So I have, business was something I just sort of learned because I loved it at a young age. But surrounding myself with the right people and just being able to be able to work at it and study and do what I could and just be more of a voice, and then have a team behind me that can back up my mouth, is something that I took pride in.
That's good. That's fantastic, man. And one of the things that, you've helped, and this is the season where if you are in accounting, if you are a CPA or you are in the accounting industry, you are taking a breath, right? You're taking a breath now because you just came out of the whirlwind. And the technologies today helps to calm some of those whirlwinds for accountants and CPAs, and so I got this question that came in. So, well, it wasn't this one. There was another one. This is my question first, and I got another question for you that came in. I want you to share a success story where you've seen automation transform an accounting practice, and be as specific and detailed as you need to paint the visual for people.
Yeah, well, actually, I have a couple that come to mind. One of them was a larger firm. They're probably about 150 people deep, and they were just doing a lot of manual data, document management, and things like that. And there were always delays. There was always errors, and just hours and hours of work. And long story short is, we implemented some automation technology. And first of all, we were able to walk us through the process, know the logic, figure out what they were doing. And they had multiple people doing it. And, once we figured out what we can do, what we can automate, it was a game changer because we were able to, reduce all the errors, the delays. We call triggers to be able to, something that needed to happen, the bot would trigger to make it happen. And, and then it'll freed up their time so that people didn't have to do anything anymore. Right? It's like, okay, I can spend more time, more, client facing, being, client satisfaction type, tasks. And also, they saw significant revenue growth because they were able to spend that time in front of clients. So it was, for them, it was a no brainer, right? It's like, okay, this can happen. This helps out. The thing about it is that they had an IT firm, an IT company department. And by bringing us in and being able to work directly with them, because them trying to learn what we know, it will take them a long time because we've been doing it for a very long time. Our team has. So they were able to say, you know what? No, let's just work with our team, get you what you need, you build it. If anything anything goes on, or we need more service or maintenance, our team will talk to you. We build a great relationship with them. We hardly, and to be honest with you, we don't really hear too much about any processes that are with them now. It's just running, right? So I think that's a great story. But the one that really sticks out to me is more of a solopreneur. A solopreneur, if you guys don't know, it's just a single person, right? And this one lady, she was just working, doing tax returns over and over. She was just sort of limited to what she can do because it was just her. And the minute we were able to automate some of her processes, she was just, the automated tax return process, it would just blew out of the water. She was just like, you freed up all my time, right? Because all she did, she worked with clients, did their tax returns, filed them, same thing over and over and over again. She had such a nice little system. She'd been doing it for years, so she already knew how to do it, but she was just spending a lot of time doing it. All we did is automate that for her. That's all we did. And it was a game changer. So, once you realize, the flow behind the process, and you understand the logic and what application they're using and things like that, building it is not that hard. The hard part is getting the right information, and gathering all the requirements you need to get that built. Once we have it, it's we have a pretty solid team to be able to build it. So yeah, those are two successful stories in the accounting industry.
That's good. That's perfect. And it lines right up with these statistics here. And these statistics are always changing, or they're right around the same. And as you can see here, accountants can save a substantial amount of time by automating routine tasks. Routine meaning tasks that are repetitive. And studies show that automation can save up to 40%. Now, we've seen companies when people save more than that, less than that. So it's all circumstantial. But nevertheless, you're saving some time.
That's it.
That is big.
And the great thing about it is, like, if you just look at it, like, how much, if I can get 20% of my day back, 30% of my day back, that's it, no more. What would that do? So most businesses nowadays, there's at least 30% of what you're doing manually that could be automated in any industry, not just accounting, in any industry, right? So if you sit back and figure out what are those things that you can automate, and you just got 30% back of your day back, of your time back, what could that do for you and your company? Not only growing your company, working with clients, but spending some time away, not having to rush and have that mindset, I got to do this over and over. It clears your mind up. The most important thing is that it clears you mentally and physically from doing that. Because it's like we are robots. If you do this type of work, so you walk into work, you already know about the day before what you're going to do. You already know what you're going to do over and over and over again. Just think, if you didn't have to think about that anymore, what would happen, right? And so I think getting that 30% away will not only take that away from you, but allow that 30% for you to be able to think about something totally different. It's more creative, more visionary. So it's a big change in more than one way.
Oh my goodness. So what we're talking about is we're talking about reallocating time and energy towards things of greater purpose and value for the people doing the task and the company they're doing it for. How do you do that? You organize and standardize your processes, and then you automate them. Automation allows you to then use that energy not to do the task over and over, but to just oversee and then do something else. This is great. And so that sounded nice. What is the challenge? What are you seeing the biggest hurdle or the gap or the big bridge that's separating businesses from actually taking action or on something of this nature?
I think the biggest difference I've seen is resistance to change, right? They're not willing to change what's already working for them. They go, it's already working for us. Why am I going to change it? When they have a real
old dog new tricks thing, huh?
Yeah, and if they've been doing it for years, they don't want to change that because they've seen success. But they don't realize that if they change it and improve it, they can see a lot better success, right? So that's one thing, is resistance. We see a lot of that. I think cost concern. They think that it's expensive, why am I going to spend my time really, looking into this when it's going to cost too much? But when you sit down and realize what it can do for you, you can see the ROI, the immediate ROI. That when you spend some time doing that, and not just think about it, saying, "Oh, I already know." You think about AI, you think about generative AI or any type of automation or software. It's like, oh, that's going to take up some more money. It's going to eat up a lot of our revenue. Really not. It's going to save you. So once you get past that, I think is important. And then the last thing I think is really selecting the right technology, right? Especially in accounting firms. We know when we talk to accounting firms, everybody's like, "Oh, I already have automation." We know every accounting firm. We know every business has accounting or automation software. I mean, everybody, right? If you have a CRM,
look at the question that just came in. Look at the question just came in. You're actually talking about it right now. Just came in. What are the technologies that are impacting businesses, but in particularly accountants, which will be sometimes the same, but you can continue your you can continue what you were just saying, and then you can bridge it into this question because it's kind of the same. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, you have to have the right technology, and the way to really figure out what the right technology is don't change up what you're doing now. If it's working, don't change it up. Just say automate it, right? If the logic's working, automate it, because it gives you time to really think about, is this the right application? Is this the right software that I'm using? If not, you can make those changes. Because it's already automated, those changes are a lot easier to make, right? For growth. So, there is a lot of emerging technologies, and I think that's where people get caught up in, because generative AI is huge right now. We're fighting that a little bit. It's like, hey, you know what? We're going to focus on generative AI. We know what we need to do. It's like, well, wait a minute. If you automated your current processes that you're doing manually, how much time can you dedicate to focusing on new technology, emerging technology, right? So having that understanding and being able to say, okay, well, you're right. Maybe we got to sit back and look at what we can do to automate, not only for you, but for your team. Because if you can automate your team, now they can bring in their vision and their skill set and their knowledge into the conversation and help you find these emerging technologies going to help your company grow a lot faster. So those are, things that I think people need to be aware of, especially in accounting, because we've worked with accounting quite a bit. And to be honest with you, sometimes it's a hard nut to crack, because they're sort of stuck on what they were doing, and they think that what the new automation is what they're already using. I already have automation here all the time, but in reality, they're not. They have some software that's helping them, take care of a couple of things here and there. But if it's not end-to-end solution for you, and there's still some manual steps that have to be taken, then there's opportunity for automation.
There's an opportunity for automation. Yeah, that's solid. That's solid. So speaking of an opportunity for automation, this is the second part of that Simply question, because this podcast is powered by Simply Automate. We have two simple questions. One was, what would you one thing you would simply automate in your personal life, what you said. Now, Mr. Wilton Rogers, what is one thing that you would automate? I'm talking to the automation guy, but what's one thing that you would automate in your business?
One thing I would automate in my business is, well, first of all, finding something that I know that is causing a bottleneck in our company. It's causing some pain points that is impacting not only myself, but most importantly, our team, right? Our staff. What are those areas that we feel like we can help them bring out more of their capabilities? What can we get off their plate? So in other words, if you find something that's, say, hey, if you had an assistant, what would you have them do? That's a good question to ask some of your employees, right? If you have an assistant, what would you have them do? What would you have to take off the plate? I guarantee you more than likely it's going to be automated, because that's taking up a lot of their time, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, if I would find out more data entry, data extraction type processes to automate in order to free up a lot of the time, because it's going to free up time for the company, but also going to free up time for you. If you wanted to, sometimes we have to work overtime. Sometimes we can't go to our kids' game because we have to sit down there and work or whatever, right? Just think about that, But for the most part, any type of data entry, data extraction, document management, things like that are things that I would automate.
That's big because that's gonna again free up time, and that's what this whole goal of intelligent automation is, folks. Again, you are tuned in, you're watching or listening to the Automation Nation podcast. Our first guest today is CEO of Simply Automate, Wilton Rogers, who went from selling chickens to now raising robots. About this chicken thing, going back, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I think you're the most appropriate person to answer this question, considering the facts. So what came first?
God, great question. You shouldn't put me on the spot like that. But honestly, I think it's well. First of all, in order to have an egg, you have to have a chicken, right? So it's like, okay, what? The chicken just fell from the sky, and all of a sudden the egg came out. I don't know. I would have to say the chicken came first. But hopefully, I have some comments on here that people could prove me wrong or figure out the logic behind that, theory behind that, because that's what I'm going to go with.
Listen, I don't think anybody's in a position to actually argue about that. So, having said that, we're going to keep it moving. How about this faster financial reporting here? Did we talk about this yet? I don't think we talked about this. Not in detail. Yeah, because this is important. All right. Automation can significantly speed up your financial reporting process, which means you'll understand your numbers better. You understand your numbers faster. Let's talk about this statistic here. And not just accountants and CPAs, everyone benefits in this regard. But talk about your experience in regards to more accurate and faster financial reporting when it comes to intelligent automation.
Well, great question. I think financial reporting, every company has to do that, right? And we as humans make a lot of mistakes, right?
I don't make any mistakes.
Even if you have a calculator, you still make those mistakes. You might hit, your fingers might be fat like mine and hit something wrong, right? But I think when you have automation and they follow the rules that you give it and they know exactly where to go, it eliminates any mistakes. It adds up all the numbers that you need that needs to be added up, right? So not only do you get something that's going to give you the true numbers that you need, but it's going to give it to you a lot faster and a lot sooner. And I think, if anybody is doing some type of financial reporting, they need to see where they are doing manual steps that are causing them delays and errors and figure out how to automate that, because it can be automated. Just remember that all digital reporting or financial reporting comes in a digital format, right? Unless you're still writing all your financial reporting on a pen and paper, right? It's in digital format. Once it's in that digital format, you can manipulate it to do anything. And the bots will do it exactly the way you want it every single time. You take that same logic, right? And you give it to a human. Not only is it not going to do it every single time, because we have a tendency to not follow the same rules or take a break in between these rules and miss one here and there once in a while, but it also causes a lot of delays. So mistakes, delays cause you revenue, cause you time, cause you opportunity for more volume. And then when it comes down to more business, volume is important, right? So if you can get your financial reports together, you can build that volume and have it locked in and have it running perfect every single time. Mm-hmm. It's going to make a big difference. So, I think financial reporting process is so important for all businesses to really look at and figure out where are those areas that are causing delays and errors, and figure out how in the heck you need to automate it.
Great. This question just came in. How do I know if I need automation? Well, we know that everyone can benefit from it. We know that, but I guess a lot of people would try to figure out like how do I identify, even know, if, where, when, what about it?
Yeah.
Because the internet has a whole lot of information, by the way.
And they do. And I think automation is just used so widely that people get sort of lost in what the translation is, right? So to simplify it, the real thing to do is there's a couple things you want to do. You want to figure out what things are repetitive, and this will help you really take advantage of what we talked about earlier about taking advantage of all the emerging technologies, right? That you can use for your company. Is figure out what are things that are rule based. Basically, what are you doing over and over and over? What are mundane? What are what are things that are going to cause you headaches if you don't do? Just find all these things that are manually done and figure out what am I doing repetitive that's manually done that I don't like doing. That's a great place to start. It may not be the first process you do, but it could be the first conversation you have. And that conversation can lead you to a different process or to a better process moving forward. Because you might think, oh, by the way, I wanted to do some data extraction from this one little document. But then you found out, oh no, inventory management, because we're doing a lot of this. That conversation can lead to something different. So how to find out, what you need to be automated is find out what are you doing pretty much every single day, a few times a week. That's taking up, 4, 5, 6 hours a week doing, you or your staff doing, and start with that because that will ignite the conversation. And that will give you enough information to identify areas of your business that you can focus on that first potential automated process.
That's good. That's good. And I think you also brought a use case. So if anyone actually watching the show, you can actually grab. We want you. So this show is informational, edutainment, which is education and entertainment combined. But the most important thing of this whole moment is that you extract something that can benefit you. The best way to extract something that can benefit you is to either take the information and then go consume it later, or take it and go consume it now. But either way, you got to get it. So what Wilton has done is he's provided in the comments, there's a use case that you can download. And this is an accounting automation use case. And so it'll show you, anyone can download this. It'll give you insight, period, about how automation works. But precisely for any accountants or CPAs or financial folks out there, go ahead and grab this free piece of information. It's valuable. Only thing you have to pay is attention. And I tell you, you should pay that. You should pay that much attention, because this is one of those cases where, now, like if Blockbuster knew what it knows now, it would be Netflix, but they didn't know, right? Right. But we're now in the position to know, so we don't have to be Blockbuster. So don't be the Blockbuster.
Great.
Use case in the comments below.
Yeah, I'm glad you got that use case. I spent a lot of time by myself building that whole use case by myself. No, I'm just kidding. No, I actually, we have an amazing team that put that together, right? And that use case has experience of a lot of people, so it's just a wealth of knowledge. And when you get that use case, you'll be able to hopefully identify areas of your business that you can at least spark that conversation and be like, okay, you know what? We do that. I spend time doing that. Let's have a conversation about that. So, we have a team that put that brilliant piece together, and it just looks amazing, easy to follow, simple to understand. And I think that, I think every accounting firm out there, and we're building one for other industries as well, but, they just need to take a look at this. Even if you're not in the accounting industry, you should still download it, because it's still going to give you information that crosses over to your industry. And, and when you read that and you see it, it's well put together. And I would love to take ownership of that, but like I said, we have an amazing team, a talented team, and experienced team that brought all of their knowledge and resources and put that beautiful thing together.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. And also, and with that said, we'll also put your contact information. Definitely connect with Wilton. We're coming in for a landing. We got our final big question for you, but just so folks know, you can reach out to Wilton. His website will be in the comments, in the show notes. So whether you're watching this or listening to this, you'll be able to connect with him, and also this amazing use case, which is information. Now, knowledge is not power. Wisdom is the proper application of knowledge. So that means you have to take this information and use it. Okay. So, Wilton, with that being said, man, what's one nugget wisdom you'd like our audience to remember about automation and business?
Wow. I think one nugget about automation and business would say really understand how to use today's automation. Because not only will it help your business thrive and grow, but it's going to allow you to be more of a visionary. It'll allow you to be able to break loose from things that you have to do, be able to do things that you can think about. So instead of having to operate and run your business, you can work on building your business. And so the nugget is, learn new automation technologies. So not only can you grow your business, but you can grow your mind.
Ooh. That's what I'm talking about. So you can grow your business and grow your mind. Somebody say mindset, ready, grow. Wilton Rogers, man, thanks for being here with us today. With us. We're all here. We're all here together.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Man, this is good. This is good. And make sure that you connect with Wilton because, any information that you can get and use to better yourself, I'd say take it. And when it comes to business, you need automation, but you need intelligent automation. So give us somebody who has the intelligence to get you there. You're watching and listening to the Automation Nation podcast. Wilton, man, thanks again for being with us.
Thank you, man.
Until next time.